Hiya then folks, welcome to Boating on a Budget with me, the tight Yorkshireman.
And me, Dawn.
This isn't about Dawn. What are we doing here? We're grape picking, aren't we?
Yeah, love it.
Grape picking, these are the grapevines that are on our moorings. The boats are just behind you there. And we're taking all these off because we're going to convert them into wine, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, personally we're not going to convert them into wine, but we're taking them to, it's called the Boathouse Social, up the canal, and he's into all his brewing. He's got a little microbrewery. Might have to sample a few beers while I'm there. But yeah, he's got canal boats, and he does a few different bits by the side of the canal, and he's going to convert our grapes that we grow here into some wine. So will it be winging it wine?
Probably.
The only downside is neither of us two actually really drink wine, do we?
No.
But you never
Not at
know.
all.
I'm sure it'll be nice anyway. But yeah, we've not just been doing grape picking though, have we?
No.
Because I've heard it on the grapevine
Oh, Peter.
that we've been cracking on with our boat. See what I did there? Grapevine. Why have you got grape juice running down your face and on your glasses and everywhere? I must say this is actually the second attempt that we've had at collecting all these, isn't it? We had a couple of hours on it the other day, and you won't believe just how many grapes come off a grapevine, would you? But anyway, I digress. Yes, we've been doing some other stuff on the boat, so let's get all these down and get back to the boat. Now I'm inside then, you might notice something's missing. That's Dawn, obviously. And to be perfectly honest, this is now over a week since we did that grape picking, which incidentally, the grapes have gone off to be converted into wine. But with one thing and another, that day, and then for the following few days, we never really got a chance to do any filming. And at that point, it were then our days off over, and it were back to work. So in between times, we have managed to do just a few little bits and bobs here and there, which I'll catch you up on now, and then we'll crack on and get a few bits done. First thing you're going to notice is this wall behind me. This is something Dawn's been working on, and it's a real shame she's not here to actually sort of explain it to you. But basically what she's done is she's got loads of the offcuts of timber that we've been using over this project, sanded them all up nicely, squared them all up on the saw, and then stuck them on one by one on that wall. And we think that's looking absolutely fantastic. We do know it's probably going to be a bit Marmite, if you like. I'm sure some people are going to think it's marvellous. Some people are probably not going to be so keen. But we think it's awesome. So while Dawn was doing that, I turned my attention to more pressing matters. Because as I'm sure you're aware, here in the UK, we're heading headlong into winter. And that means we need our log burner on virtually every evening at the minute. And that meant I had to have a look at this hearth. Because I'm sure you remember, a few weeks ago, when I built this fire surround, I only put a wooden hearth in. And it looked so good, in our opinion again anyway, that we didn't just want to cover it with a metal sheet that would be heat proof. We wanted to come up with a better idea, if you like. And I must say, loads of people give us some great ideas, potentially using glass, maybe using a little raised platform. All of those are going to take a little bit of time to work out, and we needed it working. So what I did is I just grabbed a few sheets of steel that we've got laying around, knocked up a little hearth, and at least we can now use the log burner. So have a quick look, see what I did there, then we'll come back to what we're doing today. can see in this corner, Dawn's still got that side of the fireplace to do. But I must say it is quite time consuming and fiddly. And she does a few little bits at a time and then gets bored and goes off and does something else. I'm sure she'll get there over the coming week or two with that though. But what I'm doing is I'm putting some nice wax, a dark oak wax, on this plywood. And I must say straight away, it's not normally the sort of thing that I do. Because I think I have mentioned in the past, I always feel if you put things like this on plywood, it still always just looks like plywood. It's not like applying waxes and polishes and things to proper timber. But the idea of this side here is we're going to put things on there. We've got a couple of things that I'm going to start putting on today. And then over time we're going to build up, and it's going to be kind of our storyboard, I think is the best way of describing it. I'm going to try not to fill it with junk, but hopefully as time goes on and we pick up bits and bobs as we're travelling around, they can go on here and be our story of our journey taking Leander Lady around the canal network. So the theory behind that is, over time, you're not really going to see much of this plywood. You're going to see the things on it, and therefore a little bit of wax on it will just help darken it down, make that disappear into the background, and make the junk, the quality things that we put on there, stand out. I'm sounding all artistic there, aren't I? I think you'll agree then, that is a pretty impressive start to our display board. It was made for us by one of our followers, a chap called William, who's basically been following us since we started this project well over 12 months ago. And not only did he CNC cut that out, he also used his 3D printer to make us some set squares with our logo in it, and also some key rings. The even more impressive thing is, he does all this in his shed at the bottom of his garden, which it is a shed, but it's also a pretty impressive workshop the way he's got it set up. Because not only does he make these sort of things, he actually makes the CNC cutters that he uses to make that on. Man of many talents. More or less, if you can think of anything that you want making, either by 3D printing or CNC cutting, he can do it. I will leave the link to his YouTube channel and his Facebook in the description below. Go and have a look at it, especially if you've never seen these CNC machines in operation before. They are impressive bits of kit. He did make us a few of these speed squares and a couple of key rings, so I think we're going to do a little giveaway, and we'll probably throw in one of our t-shirts. But don't worry, it'll not be a t-shirt I've already worn, it'll be a new one. What I'm thinking though is, can anybody come up with a bit of a different or interesting competition, if you like? Instead of just doing the old naming out and we'll draw one out, is there something a bit unique we could do as a competition? Not sure. you have a little think. Drop any ideas in the comments below. How can we go about giving away a speed square, a keyring and a t-shirt? So for now, I think the only other thing I want to look at is how I'm going to mount these on there. Because these are the axes that me and Dawn made a couple of weeks ago in the forge. And we kind of want them, I think, something like that on the wall. But we've got a bit of a dilemma there, because I think if I just start sort of drilling holes through and screwing them in place, it's not going to look very good. It's going to be a bit clunky. And we might want to use them from time to time. To be honest, we do have another axe that we use on a day-to-day basis. But at the end of the day, we did make these as axes. They're not just purely display. So if they're screwed in place, that's going to discourage us from taking them off because it's going to be a mess around. But if we were to just sit them on sort of some hooks or screws, I've got a couple of concerns. The first one being that they could fall off while we're travelling along and getting banged around. But the other one is, somebody comes running onto our boat, if that's just hung on a hook, they could grab that and hit us over the head unless we give them all our money. Which, being a tight Yorkshireman, we don't have any money anyway, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to have a scratchy head moment, see whether I can come up with anything, or likewise, if you can think of anything, some kind of clip or fastener that'll allow them to go on the wall, that we can use them from time to time if we need them, but is going to keep them safe and secure. I think though, for now, that's all I can be doing on this fireplace. We've got some flooring we need to put down next though. Now I've shifted a few bits out of the kitchen, including the steps. I can do the really hard task of fitting this flooring, which I must say, years ago I fitted some vinyl flooring in a downstairs toilet at my house, and I said I was never doing it again because it were a nightmare cutting it around the toilet. But I think this might be a bit more straightforward, because as it happens by chance, a friend of mine who played darts with, Chris Milson, has just had some vinyl flooring fitted at home, and it got an offcut from the roll, and it's just the right width for our kitchen. There's also another piece that will be suitable for the bathroom, and as we've found in the past, there's no point me trying to film in that bathroom because there ain't enough room. So I'll just show you the very basic principle of fitting vinyl flooring in a kitchen. The main task is going to be, there is no room to work. There we go then, nice and easy. Just need one of them trim plates and we've got some vinyl flooring down.